Thanks for staying with us here. Newsnight Headlines is brought to you by Eden Heights. Eden Heights, welcome home. Tonight, Chairman of Parliament's Defense and Interior Committee cautions Nigerians Ghana's security agencies will not relax in taking them on, despite concerns from Nigerians about stereotyping. Also, error on year of return handed the Jamaican Prime Minister generates trolls on social media, with some describing it as an embarrassment to the country. Meanwhile, government has called for stakeholders' input for the diasporan engagement policy ahead of 2019 Homecoming Summit. And government has been reviewing its One Village, One Dam policy, arguing the landscape of some communities won't support the construction of dams, but rather dugouts.
And coming up in business, Trade Ministry to intervene in impasse between Ghanaian traders and their foreign counterparts operating in retail markets in the country.
Later in sports, no goals in two friendly matches ahead of AFCON 2019. But midfielder Mobo Akwakaso says the Black Stars are ready to deliver in Egypt.
And Ashanti region produces best and worst performing districts in the 2019-2018 District League table. We have all the details, and St. Augustine's College announces return to National Science and Maths quiz in style after 2 years of absence by securing the highest contest score so far at the ongoing competition.
2019 Augusto, St. Augustine's College. We are murdering everybody on the way. We are taking the cup home to Central Region, and we are winning.
We have all that and more here in tonight's edition of Newsnight. Please join us with your thoughts and comments via WhatsApp on 0244 340 437. I am MFR Pawu, and I'm here with Evans Mensah.
And we start from the Western region tonight, where in a particular mining community at Awaso, where there have been further disturbances tonight following workers' complaints there, the Ghana Bauxite Company. We understand that today additional homes and buildings as well as cars have also been torched. We're seeing disturbing pictures of bungalows set ablaze, cars burnt as well, all because workers there complain about the working conditions. We understand that there's been a security council meeting in the particular district and the region as well in reaction to what has been unfolding there since yesterday, which has continued into today. We can speak now to one of the workers who's on the ground tonight. Thank you very much for the time here on Newsnight. We understand that today more workers were agitating, correct?
Yes, please. That was yesterday.
Okay, and so what really is the issue?
Our issue is based on our poor working conditions, the formation of our union, and the working on our CBA.
And since this disturbance has started, we've seen pictures of bungalows burnt, also vehicles also been set ablaze as well. In Awaso, this is targeted at management.
Please tell me.
The burnings we've seen, the protests, all targeted at management.
Yes. It was an anger situation that cropped up, and it went that far.
And it went that far. But why must it though? What really got this to degenerate the way it did?
What
got it to degenerate the way it did?
Okay, it wasn't a planting on our ideology team, because as at that morning, which is the Monday morning, we were all at work, working peacefully. Then at around 10, and the news came out that this is what is taking place. All based on a sitting we went recently, as in our negotiation sitting with the management. And it went out that this is what went out in the meeting, and the workforce heard that things are not going as expected. Then it angers some people because they've been argued for so long. Believe you me, it's been 9 years we've been working. Formation of union has been difficult for us because there's no institution in this country that you have a population of workers whereby they want to form a union. You're not giving them that mandate. What is stopping us from forming a union? We fought through it. It's landed in 16 workers being sacked, and their case has been in court for 4 years. So with all this accumulation of progress, as in we not forming union, they not granting us the process or the mandate to form the union, and everything has brought about all this agitation and anger and vandalization of properties. It wasn't a planting or it wasn't something, because if you quietly read news 3 months ago, that was somewhere March. We want on a peaceful demonstration, petitioned MCs, DCs, the regional ministers just to come in our aid so that things will go smoothly. So when you petition, they said, oh, they are going to work on it, they are on their way coming, this and that. We've been waiting till now, so we are going on a negotiation table. And believe you me, 7 executives, 700 workers. When it took place, we all went there to resolve issues and bring tempers down. But it got out of hand, and what took place, sir.
So I hear you say your complaints are the company stopping you to form a union. Some workers have also been sacked. Are these the core reasons why the protest has happened, or there are more grievances there?
There are more grievances.
Such as?
Somebody is taking as low as 2.5, which is below the minimum wage.
When you say 2.5, 25 cedis?
3.5, and HND holders.
Let's say 350 cedis.
250 cedis, 215 cedis.
250 cedis a month.
Need contributions are not going through whilst we are working and contributing. They will call you, interview you, tell you this is the pay they are going to give you. You work for a month, the pay that comes on your pay slip, it's quite different. They will call you, the mother company itself will interview you. After that, they will tell you, Mr. A, you are going to a contract worker of A. Mr. B, you are going to a contract worker of B. Whilst they are all having the same level of education and skilled work, but there are disparities in it. Instead of they having the same pay, all because they don't want us to form that union and bring about that confusion among us. That's what has brought about all this. If I sick today, I'm supposed to cater for myself. If a fellow, the member or family member should die today, I'm supposed to take care of. But the mother company and its workers, the company does that for them, take care of everything for them. We are here doing the same skilled work. There are no differences. So we are why should it be so? If that being the case, if even we can't meet the equality with them, we should be 3/4 to that or half of it. But management are still doing their best not to grant us our demands. So that's what has angered workers to this extent.
Thank you very much. That's one of the workers, the aggrieved workers in that particular part of Awaso. That's the Ghana Bauxite Company. I want to bring in a local reporter who's been following this all day as well, with the Debate FM in Sishi. Timothy joins us on the line. Timothy, thank you for your time. So what's the situation on the ground right now?
Well, as I can tell, as of now, I'm speaking to the premises of the Ghana Bauxite Company of Awaso is calm. There's heavy security at the grounds as I'm talking to you now. And yesterday, what transpired at the premises is all about the workers saying that for past more than a year now, they have been giving the authorities some requests that they need some incentives that will motivate them to work. And yesterday, we spoke with the chief of Awaso, Nana Amponsa Kwadjo, and he said that on the 12th of March of this month, there was some consensus agreement between the workers and the authority of the company that there will be an increment of their salary, but up to date, nothing like that have happened. So that leads to this demonstration. And some of the workers who are saying that the HR of the company, Mr. George Amponsa, is being accused because he's the one who is not willing to help the workers. So that's why they are doing this demonstration.
And we heard that early today in the morning there were some further disturbances?
No, even yesterday after 8 o'clock in the evening, that was still ongoing. But after this morning up to date, there was no any demonstration on the ground, and there is heavy security with military and the police as I'm talking to you now. And I also spoke to the assemblyman for Awaso. He said now things are calm. They will meet the workers plus the authorities so that they will discuss their incentive. That's why they are doing this demonstration. So from tomorrow going, they said there will be a meeting between the workers and the assemblyman and the chief of Awaso so that their demands will become true. And they will see to it that every worker of the Ghana Bauxite Company of Awaso will get his or her demand that they are requesting for.
Timothy, thank you very much. Also joining us right now is the Divisional Police Commander, Chief Superintendent John Osei-Bonsu. Mr. Osei-Bonsu, thank you for your time here on Newsnight.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I just heard from the report on the ground that you have a heavy presence there. What's the situation from your own account?
The situation for now is that the situation is calm now. We have received reinforcements and from the police service, from headquarters and other places. And then we've received support from the military, the fire service, forestry commission, and other security services.
From what you describe, with all these agencies coming to assist, it must have been a very grave, dire situation you were confronted with.
It was really dire from yesterday morning when it all started as an industrial action, but a few people took advantage of and started, vandalizing property of the company, and setting some on fire, and vandalizing vehicles, setting two on fire, burning offices and bungalows. But by God's grace, since we got the reinforcement, we managed to stamp our authority. But there was a blockage. They blocked the entrance to the mine. Some very prominent people in the area came in. They spoke to the leaders, and we managed to get those blockages off the place. So now there's easy access to the place. So we managed to do our deployment, and we are hoping that no further distraction will occur from now.
Have you succeeded in making any arrests?
For now, we haven't made any arrests because for those who were on strike, they've not done anything that warrants any arrest. But those who caused those distractions, most of them either did it when we were not around or did it and fled. But the investigations are ongoing, and hopefully we will get them and bring them before the law.
And I'm just guessing now, with all the presence of all these armed officers on the ground and what has happened, the mine is effectively being shut down.
Yes, the mine has been shut down because of the industrial action. Because the workers who are supposed to work there have laid down their tools and are not working, and they are on strike. And based on the fact that they have some disagreements with the management over conditions of service, it has been a long-running disagreement, and that was what ended in what happened yesterday. But some, like I said, prominent people have come in, and we are trying to bring the workers and the management together and start dialoguing and see if an amicable solution can be found.
Thank you, sir, for your time. That is the Chief Superintendent John Osei-Bonsu, who is the Divisional Police Commander. So listen to News Now here on Joy 99.7 The FM. If you're affected by this in that part of the country, Awaso, please send us a message, 0244 340437. Let's move on to that story that has been making a lot of rounds today, the Nigerian community, but also Parliament's stepping in now, MFA.
And the chairman of Parliament Defense and Interior Committee, Sethi Champong, is cautioning Nigerians in Ghana the security agencies will not relax in taking them on, despite concern from the Nigerian community that they are being stereotyped. And of course, he says there's evidence some Nigerians in the country are acting contrary to Ghana's laws, something Ghanaians cannot do in Nigeria. He says the intelligence agencies will continue to be vigilant and deal with Nigerian perpetrators of these illegal acts.
First and foremost, this is the Republic of Ghana, a sovereign state that is governed by the rule of law, and we have our laws that enable us maintain peace and order in this country. So our public safety is of paramount interest to us. I'm not going to listen to any person who tells me that some exercise that is legitimately being undertaken by security services is unnecessarily targeting and witch hunting towards our other neighbors. I don't believe in that. However, we must also remember that in recent times, a lot of intelligence have been guarded. Over the weekend, there was a particular narrative by a supposed Nigerian national advancing viewpoints that Nigerians within Ghana are more and should, at the end of the day, in summary, take over Ghana. This will not augur well. For me, I don't know who the character is. I don't know who recorded him, but intelligence is intelligence. And for our public safety, our security is on red alert. Mind you, most foreign embassies in our country have issued red alert to their country's people traveling in, living in, and traveling out of Ghana to be wary of their security. Our security cannot be left in the hands of none but Ghanaians. And so any person who comes in Ghana must abide and walk under the laws of the Republic.
That video which has gone viral, do you consider that as a serious threat that really the security agency should be paying attention to? He was speaking to probably a group of Nigerians and having a simple conversation.
Indeed, I really do not know his audience, but a person who lives in the public safety arena, no intelligence is left unattended to. And it is prime news and prime information for us, and it's a good lead, and we are going to work on them.
And your caution to foreigners and Nigerians generally would be?
No, they have to respect the laws of Ghana. Nobody takes it easy. Look, I'm telling you this for free. I have seen Nigerian number-plated vehicles drive in the center of our roads. I've called the attention of the Motor Traffic Department of the Ghana Police Service to ensure that it never happens again, because we will not countenance that. No, I go to Nigeria frequently. You cannot have a Ghanaian vehicle drive on the streets. Nowhere. In where? Isolo? Where? Or Ikeja? Or where?
That is Seth Champo.
Yes.
He is the chairman of the Defense and Interior Committee in Parliament. And in this interview he granted Joseph Gakpo, he makes reference to this viral video of this Nigerian professor who is heard making pronouncements, in essence calling Nigerians in Ghana to sort of react, in the face of the accusations of some of them as being criminals and in the wake of the kidnappings. Well, this case is now being looked at by the police. We understand that this Nigerian professor was today either invited or arrested and has been at the CID headquarters for questioning on the pronouncements that he made. In fact, in the last just few minutes, the University of Ghana Public Affairs Directorate has just issued a statement on some of the things he had said, because he had claimed to be a professor at the University of Ghana. Listen to some of the things that this individual says. He's now being identified as Professor Austin Inwagbara. He's a Nigerian professor of English. Listen.
There is bad image for Nigeria. We can take it back through the press. We can reverse it. We have powerful Nigerian media stations, channels broadcast all over the world. AIT has a problem now. NTA does. Many others. There's active online social media, the blogs in Nigeria. Let them come. Look at what we have said here today. Let them come here and run documentaries of the experiences of Nigerians and blast it all over the world. In 3 days, Ghana will respond. I have been a media person. You cannot be here and suffering. Let the leaders get our media guys come here. Cover what has been happening. Go to the student community, go to the business community, go to everywhere. Come to the embassy. Go and confront the officials with the information. Air it. Within 1 week, I can tell you part of what's happening. I'm sorry to say it, but this is within us. The present government in Ghana came on the grounds of Nigeria bashing. I have listened to things some of their top leaders have said all over the world in major places. We did not take it back, sir. If we take it back, they will sit up. Let us use our own media and get back to them. Let us see live cases. Let our media with this story say we want to go to their prisons to see Nigerians. Of course, they will turn you back. You broadcast it.
Yes.
They have, we've all talked here, Nigeria is bad. They have sold us as criminals and we have bought it. That's why we are owning up to it. We are bad, quite all right, just like any other person, any other community. We are good, like other communities, sir. So we cannot take ownership of bad and say it is ours. We are like them. Sir, we have also another point to market. That will be the third point. They are using our manpower. I was first on sabbatical in Legon, 2011-12. So I can tell you that Nigerian community takes care of more than 65% of Legon's budget, the income of the university.
Yes.
Nigerian students in that university pay a minimum of $10,000, or average of $10,000 per student times the number of students. How much do they generate? All the private universities, everywhere, we have this advantage that we supply to them. What are we getting back in return? Insults. So, and I can tell you, it's also the problem back home. I won't pay 10% of that sum for my child to get a degree in a Ghanaian university.
So that is Professor Austin Iwagbara. Well, the University of Ghana just has a statement out reacting to some of the things that he had said, and I want to read from it. He says the University of Ghana's attention has been drawn to a video circulating on media platforms which features an individual who has been linked to the University of Ghana. Now, he says the said professor has been identified as Professor Austin Iwagbara, a Nigerian professor of English who is currently not a member of faculty at the University of Ghana. In fact, he himself makes the point. Exactly. He says our records show that Professor Iwagbara was a visiting scholar at the Department of English during the 2011-2012 academic year from August 8th to July 30th, 2012. The claims Professor Iwagbara makes in the video relating to the university's sources of income, student fees, etc., are incorrect and do not in any way represent the true facts and figures of the university's income and state of affairs. It ends by stating that the University of Ghana disassociates itself from the claims Professor Austin Iwagbara makes in the video, which we find as mischievous and intended to mislead the public and harm the reputation of the university. The public is advised to treat the contents of the said video with the contempt it deserves. And we know also that the police CID had invited him today, and he's been questioned for a fair few hours today at the CID headquarters as well on some of the pronouncements he's made. But this matter obviously has gained a lot of attention in Parliament. There was a joint press conference at the Foreign Affairs Committee level, and as we've already heard already, the Defence and Interior Committee is also speaking. We've heard from the chairman. The ranking member on that committee also has been speaking. James Agaga is asking the police to provide adequate protection for Nigerians.
When people are rounded up for the commission of crime, they should be dealt with as individuals. Under no circumstance should the nationality of suspected criminals be canvassed as a reason for the upsurge in crime. So we must, as a people, understand that.
But if that's the reality, shouldn't we call it as such and deal with it as such, that the incidents of kidnapping in Takrade, even in Kumasi, involved Nigerians?
Those who were recently arrested, were they only Nigerians? Ghanaians were involved. Do we place a lot of emphasis on the fact that the majority of them are Ghanaians? We don't. So when 3 or 4 Ghanaians commit a crime with 2 Nigerians, we tend to place more emphasis on the nationality of the Nigerians. Therein lies the danger. Already tension is simmering. If you go to Kumasi, some shops belonging to Nigerians have been shut down. I think that is an unfortunate development.
So then, how do you expect the police, for example, to react in terms of ensuring adequate security for Nigerians, and even when they arrest people who are Nigerians?
Yes,
and all,
I don't think Nigerians, to start with, Nigerians in this country are not under attack.
And that is James Agaga. He's a ranking on the Defense and Interior Committee. Joining us on the telephone line right now is international relations expert, Dr. Vladimir Chudan. So, Doc, thank you for your time here on Newsnight.
Good evening and good evening to your viewers.
I mean, this is a very sensitive matter. When you heard the ranking member say, for example, that there is an overemphasis on the nationality of the individuals involved in the kidnappings and that shouldn't be the focus, you agree with him that maybe, he says, is a source of the fear of xenophobia attacks?
Well, obviously, if the media doesn't handle such situations very well, it backfires. But I do not think in this instance you don't have to name and shame or name the persons involved. I mean, it depends on the other attributes that are added to our reportage that may fuel some kind of nationalistic sentiment. And we need to be very careful about that. That's very true. But then that you should name where the persons come from, and that is normal in journalistic practice. If I'm a Ghanaian and I did something in London, I mean, they will name my country, they will name even my nationality and everything. So I don't think in that sense we are wrong. But then if the euphoria, if the sentiments are expressed in such a way that there is national hatred against some other nationalities, that becomes xenophobic in their stead. Because if you watch out what happened in South Africa, you would realize that it is those kind of sentiments that created that feeling among the South Africans who just believe that all their woes come from the foreigners. So, yes, we need to handle these things very, very carefully and professionally.
That is $1 million question. How should this be handled? Because we've already seen the situation in the Ashanti region where tonight the police is telling us that they've been forced to send armed police officers into Swame and CID officers as well, just so they can provide protection for the Nigerians operating there who are reporting that people are coming to them and saying, pack your things and leave because your people are kidnappers.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If the press, the media, keep on harping as if all the crimes in this world, all the kidnappings in this world are just Nigerians. That is the portrayal that I think the Nigerians are feeling. If such a portrayal happens, obviously, if I have a Nigerian in my house, I would like to get that person out. But if the reportage would just mention the sort of deeds that are going on, because after all, Ghanaians are involved. And it's not very good if we could go on this tangent. Because other than that, remember, we have a lot of Ghanaians also in Nigeria. Many people are complaining about the kind of reportage that is coming about Nigerians generally. And of course, obviously, yes, a lot of the things are being done by them. 2-3 years ago, I believe, or more, the ambassador had to call them to order. I remember very well when there was a big coverage about the ambassador admonishing them to be law-abiding in this country. And I think at that time, the kind of media attention towards Nigerians was not the way it is today. And that is why there is that kind of reaction.
I'm grateful that you joined us. That's Vladimir Chudan, who is he's a foreign relations expert. A lot of you have shared your thoughts with us on the many stories we've done so far on social media, particularly on WhatsApp.
And Elliot says Ghanaians are number one hypocrites in the world by coloring crime and branding Nigerians as criminals, as if before the arrival of foreigners there was no crime, when we are very much aware that these handful of foreign criminals are or were aided by our own people called Ghanaians. And Shifman in Atun Sukumasi says, I think that we should be circumspect with our ultramarine in the heat of these kidnapping cases. In order not to criminalize the Nigerians in our country too much, our comments should be measured. And this one says, Evans, the professor said nothing wrong. He spoke as a concerned Nigerian for Nigerians. Ghanaians say same or even worse about Nigerians in our homes, offices and churches.
Also, this one says this is a wake-up call to our leaders, both MPP and NDC. How can you be preaching politics every day and leave the country to go into jeopardy? Now the youth is rising. They're bringing companies because of what they will get, but not what the citizens will get. He's talking about a situation in Awaso. Stephen says, you see the statement this guy have put up. However, they are in Ashama Township and here and have been worries to us for some time now. Well, he's talking about the concerns about the involvement of foreigners in some crimes in Ghana. So listen to News Night here on Joy 99.7 FM. George, you are faced here with business. Hello, George.
Hi, Evans. And coming up in business, Trade Ministry to intervene in impasse between Ghanaian traders and their foreign counterparts operating in these retail markets. And some of the major oil marketing firms have started reducing prices at the pumps. I'll give you details on that one. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials. And First National Bank, we are the bank that understands your business. First National Bank, how can we help you?
MTN brand new Samsung 65-inch UHD Smart TV. Na brand new 2019 Hyundai. And I feel 3,000 Ghana. MTN Momo. Still, Misaka, the journey of 1,000 smiles. Yashasya 10 years ago. And to celebrate this milestone, MTN will give you away exciting prizes in the MTN Momo Attend promo. Yeah, you use Momo. No, you could win one of the 2019 Hyundai i10 cars. Yasama or Samsung Smart TVs for baby. And they up to 3,000 CDs e-cash every month. And a grand prize, 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe in the MTN Momo Attend promo. Into signing on and they keep using your MTN Momo. Now when it's big, if it's happening, I see August only on Ghana's best network. Dial *120#. Now check your points. Terms and conditions apply. Just Momo it. We're there for you everywhere you go.
But the best, we stay above the rest. More quality, more affordability. Kingdom Books and Stationery. Everybody's going to the one and only shop where customer satisfaction is a guarantee. Kingdom Books and Stationery.
Oh yes, with our 30 days credit facility with no interest charge, free delivery services, and our free consultation on setting up your office, Kingdom Books and Stationery is unmatched in our delivery of quality and affordable office essentials, equipment, and furniture.
Experience world-class customer service in all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Cape Coast, and Takoradi.
Call us on 0302-764-101
or visit our website at www.kingdomgh.com.
Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all office essentials and stationery. Terms and conditions apply.
Honey, I need to get some.
But I don't have cash on me. Let me get some fuel quickly and let's go.
And how are you going to get the fuel? I thought you said you didn't have cash on you. What is this one?
My Puma card.
All it takes is a card. The Puma card allows you to buy fuel cash-free from all Puma energy filling stations. You can use your Puma card with any Visa points of sale and ATM across the country. The Puma card also works on mobile money. You get amazing discounts when you fill up with your Puma card. So register for free and get your Puma card instantly at any Puma filling station.
And you only got one for yourself, eh?
Yeah, would I have had my peace of mind?
Oh, thank you, honey.
And where are you going?
I'm getting something from the shop real quick. I need to test the card.
Puma card. Cash-free convenience.
Imagine living in a world of comfort and luxury. In a well-planned and gated community with access to an ultra-modern sports complex which has Olympic-sized swimming pools, football, basketball, athletics, and gym facilities. I'm talking about Eden Heights, the new destination for luxury in Ghana. Eden Heights is developed with the highest grade of finishing in our penthouses and our 1 to 4 bedroom apartments, and is located close to the beach resorts along the Atlantic Ocean, about 30 minutes drive from the airport and 5 minutes walk from the West Hills Mall. Eden Heights is the ideal location for luxury. Visit us at edenheights.com.gh or email to sales@edenheights.com.gh or call us on 050-153-1444 or 050-153-1445 for more information. Eden Heights, welcome home.
The Electoral Commission will undertake a revision of the voters' register in all the district offices of the Electoral Commission from Monday, 17th June 2019 to Sunday, 7th July 2019 between the hours of 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day and including Saturdays and Sundays during the registration. The objective of the registration is to afford Ghanaians who have attained the age of 18 years and others who are more than 18 years but for various reasons could not register during the previous registration to do so. A person qualifies to register as a voter if he or she is a Ghanaian of a sound mind who has attained 18 years and is a resident or an ordinary resident in an electoral area where he or she would like to vote. There will be additional registration centers in difficult to access electoral areas. The public should contact their district and regional offices to help them to locate the registration centers. A person who is qualified to register but whose name is not already on the register will be required to show proof of eligibility by submitting any of the following documents: a Ghanaian passport, national ID card or the Ghana card, driver's license or an old voter's ID card. Applicants who do not have any of the identification documents listed above are required to find 2 people who are already registered voters to complete documents to guarantee their registration. Remember, the limited voters registration will begin from Monday, 17th June 2019 to Sunday, 7th July 2019 between the hours of 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Register to vote. Your vote is your power.
Register to vote.
Joy 99.7 FM.
You're welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, the Trade Ministry says it is moving fast to intervene in impasse between the local traders and their foreign counterparts operating in the retail markets in the country. Now, this follows decision by some Nigerian traders at the Swami Magazine market in Kumasi to close down their shops over fears of attacks from their Ghanaian counterparts. The regional commander in the Ashanti region has asked these Nigerian traders to return to their shops, assuring them of some protection. Now, speaking on Business Live on the Joy News on Multi TV, Deputy Trade Minister Carlos Ahinkra said government would have a deal with anyone who takes the law into his or her own hands.
We don't intend to have any confrontations with our neighbors or our brothers from other countries in South Africa. Of course, obviously, we've signed on to a protocol which frowns on discrimination when other citizens are concerned. So we are pleading with our market women, we are pleading with our traders groups and so on to be circumspect and exercise a little bit of restraint. We are using every administrative and diplomatic means to get this problem solved. And it's not appropriate to take the law into your own hands and decide as inappropriate. Going forward, I think what's going to happen is we have to probably nip the problem in the bud by ensuring that any landlord or any shop owner that leads their shop to a foreign will go further to inquire or request some legitimacy of this person.
And that's Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Carlos Ahinkra, speaking on Business Live on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. Now, some of the major oil marketing firms have started reducing their prices at the pumps in line with the 2-week review of products. Now, we understand that oil firm that is Shell has taken the lead by dropping their prices by a little over 1%. Now, this should mean that both products, that is petrol and diesel, are going for 5 Ghana cedis, 19 pesos per litre. Now, this is the oil firm that we can and establish right now that they are taking the lead to reduce their prices. We're also going to check with the other firms to give listeners some update. Now, the marginal reduction is far lower than the 5 to 8% that Joy Business has projected based on our calculations and also industry data that we have picked up. And the reduction in petroleum prices has been influenced by some increase in supply of crude on the international market. Now, if they also go further to reduce their prices in line with what we are projecting, then that could be the biggest reduction that we have seen in recent times in terms of what they will sell at the various pumps on the market. Now, the country is expected to get about $2.8 billion the first year of implementing the Continental Free Trade Agreement. Now, that's the projection coming from the African Development Bank. Now, this was contained in a report put together by the bank assessing the impact of this trade deal on all African countries. Meanwhile, government says they have put in place the required structures to ensure that this projection is realized by the country. Nyami Befi is the Director of Multinational Trade at the Trade Ministry.
Our projection is going to, because there's going to be what we call trade diversion. Instead of people importing from the Asian continent like China and India, people will now be importing from Africa. And in the process, we know that the agricultural export and industrial exports in Africa are going to increase on yearly basis. So definitely there is huge potential, and then it will boost our employment and then also boost our GDP in Africa.
Nyami Befi is the Director of Multilateral Trade at the Trade Ministry. On a related development, the country's quest to have the Secretariat for the Continental Free Trade Agreement might not come easy, because other competing countries are also pushing hard to get that right. Senegal, Egypt, Kenya, Madagascar, Ethiopia, and Eswatini have all put in their bid to hold the Secretariat. Let's hear from the Prime Minister of Eswatini, that is Ambrose Madadefo Delmali, speaking at the African Development Bank, making some pitching to other countries in Africa that they have the right and they have what it takes to host this headquarters.
We are talking about introducing e-visa, visa on arrival, and that is a target for us in the next 12 months to make sure that it's easy for people to move into the country, especially Africans. We have made a bid to host the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, so there's a lot of work ahead of us if we do win that, to make sure that there is easy movement of people into the country.
And that is Ambrose Madelvo Delmani, that's Prime Minister of Chile, that is actually pitching or actually telling other countries that who were gathered at the African Development Bank annual meetings that they have what it takes to host the Secretariat for the Free Trade Continental deal. Now, meanwhile, the Finance Minister of Ghana has also maintained that they have what it takes to actually get the right to host the Secretariat. Now, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is optimistic the new Payments Act that would offer a new avenue to improve revenue mobilization in the country. President Akufo-Addo last month gave his assent to the bill after Parliament's approval. The new law is expected to streamline as in regulations of all electronic payments in the country. The Finance Minister spoke to Joy Business on the sidelines of the just ended African Development Bank meetings in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea.
There are lots of professionals who own their clinics or their law firms or their accountant firms. I don't believe, are necessarily filing the way they should file. So a digitalized economy will lead to a lot more transparency in that. And I think then also, people will be willing to pay because they know their neighbor is also paying. I think sometimes that's a reason people give for not complying. But once there's that clarity and universality of everybody being in the net, I think you see a response from most people that will be very positive for our revenue.
The Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, and that's all for Business on Newsnight. And Evans, interesting development about this whole foreigners who are trading in the retail space. And the law is that foreigners are not allowed to trade in that space that are restricted for locals or indigenous. And it raises the question about what do we do in our quest to integrate the region, free movement of people as well.
George, we're grateful for your time here on Newsnight. Now, Sokore Mampo municipality in the Ashanti region has been adjudged the worst performing district in this year's Ghana District League table, taking over from last year's worst performers, Karachi East District in the Volta region. The municipality placed 216th on the league table this year. However, there's not all bad news in the region, as the Ashanti Achim North municipality ranked highest on the table. The district league table, introduced in 2014 by UNICEF, is a social accountability tool that ranks Ghana's MMDAs by their level of development and service delivery. Listen to UNICEF representative Miss Anne Claire Dufay giving details of the latest report.
The district league table has proved to be a very useful monitoring tool, a social accountability tool, and an advocacy tool. It is a holistic and multi-sector approach that we're using to provide evidence for enhanced decision making. Indeed, we find that with this tool, the government, parliamentarians, media, civil society have better understanding of disparities, inequities, or progress in the various districts so that they can make informed decisions and planning and allocate resources and implement policies. In the 2017 District League Table report, one of the least performing districts was Karachi East. So in 2018, I visited Karachi East in the Volta region. And there I had the opportunity to interact with children, girls, families, local authorities. And I came across all the issues that families were facing. These include poverty, teenage pregnancy, early marriage, dropout of school, difficulties in accessing health services, including for pregnant women, anemia, and you will agree that this report is useful because it helps to highlight such disparities. And I know that in the meantime, Karachi East has done quite a lot of progress. So this is actually very encouraging for the population in this district.
But what really did the trick for Asante Achim North, and then how did their counterparts at Sokore Mampong fail that woefully? My colleague Komla Adum has a copy of that report and joins us in studio. So what were the indicators for this year's report, Komla?
MFR, since 2014, we know that there have been 5 indicators used to rank these districts. So we have education, which is the percentage of pupils who pass the basic education certificate examination. There's sanitation, which is the percentage of districts, communities in these districts that are certified open defecation-free communities. Also, there is health, which measures the percentage of expected deliveries attended by skilled personnel in these areas. There's also security, which is the number of the population per police officer converted to 0 to 100 index. And then there's also governance, and then water in terms of coverage of rural water supply systems, or the percentage of the urban population covered by an urban water supply MFR. But this year there were 2 additional indicators, and one of them is birth registration, which is the percentage of under 1-year-old children registered by the vital registration system, and then there is net attendance rate at the primary level, and that's the total number of students at official primary school entrance age of 6 who are enrolled in primary education. MFR.
Well, Asante Achim, they seem to have done fantastically well. What did they do right?
Evans, for indicators such as the BEC pass rates, Asante Achim North ranked 79th out of 216. When it comes to skilled birth attendants in the municipality, they ranked 9th out of 216 districts. And in terms of open defecation-free coverage, it's ranked 86th out of 216, meaning they've done some substantial work in this area of eradicating open defecation in these communities. And so generally, when they averaged all these figures, they came up tops.
Last year, when it was released, the worst performing district was the Karachi East district in the Volta region. How did the Sokore Mampong knock them off their very unenviable perch?
Well, Evans, they rank poorly in all the indicators, I have to say, all of them: education, security, open defecation, free coverage, health. I mean, all these, in fact, sanitation, all these indicators, Sokore Mampong ranked low or scored low marks in all of these. So for the districts in these areas, many of the districts in this particular communities in this district, education below average, security below average, when it comes to sanitation below average, and then even pass rate in terms of the basic education certificate examination, they rank below average again there.
I'm also interested in what we're also learning this year's ranking about regional rankings as well. I'm curious to know where Greater Accra is.
Of course, Greater Accra ranked highest.
Okay.
You know, many of the communities in Greater Accra region are known to be generally having good sanitation, education generally okay. When it comes to security, generally okay. So specifically, they mentioned the Shai Osudoku district is ranked first in terms of birth attendance, and also Adan West ranked 24th in terms of open defecation-free coverage. And then we have Ashaiman. Did very well in education, ranking, almost 30 out of 216 districts across the country. And of course, the Eastern region ranked lowest from the entire report. 4 districts in the region ranked in the lowest scoring districts. Birim South, they ranked 209th. Achim Mansa ranked 213th. The Upper West came 214th. And we have Kua Farm Plains ranking 215th in that order. So the Eastern region ranked lowest. Greater Accra region came up tops in the regional level of the rankings. Evans.
Thank you very much, Komla, for that update. So if your district is, check out the District League table. You can find it online as well, but also If your district performed well, I'm sure you'll be happy. If they didn't, of course, you can work with your district chief executive to improve your ranking next time. Let's do some sports now. Hello, Hans Minsan.
Hello, Hans Minsan.
Down to Friday.
Yes, three more days to go, and of course, some Ghanaians expressing concern over the Black Stars' lack of goals in their two friendly matches. The Black Stars, of course, lost by a goal to nil against Namibia and drew goalless against South Africa. But midfielder Mubarak Wakasu insists the team is ready to deliver in Egypt.
I think since we qualified, we have been discussing about the AFCON, how we make it through and to achieve what we all want as a Ghanaians. Like I said, we are on everything, and everything that we do to achieve our aim, inshallah, we will do it. We are really, really ready. And what I've seen in the camp, during training, and everything shows that we are ready. Just that we can't talk much unless we work. Me always I keep saying, without Ghanaians or without our fans, we are nothing. So I'm just pleading again for them to give us their maximum support just to achieve our aim. It's for all of us.
So Mubarak Wakasu speaking that he says the Black Stars are ready. Are you ready? Of course, there'll be live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM. All the Black Stars games and the other big games from AFCON 2019. That's your sports.
We look forward to it, Hans Mensando. Now, an era and a year of return sash presented to the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, has generated social media trolls, with some describing it as an embarrassment to the country. President Akufo-Addo last week was in the Caribbean, where he held bilateral talks with the Prime Minister. At the end of the two-day visit, the President seized the opportunity, or he seized the opportunity to present that sash to him. And we're told that there is a mistake. At least we've seen pictures of it. The return was spelled wrongly. My colleague Ernest Menu joins me with some of the comments on social media on this. What are people saying?
Lots of comments. Let's start with this one. Nassis Kobi says, government of error still causing international embarrassment. What's the word again? Another comment here says, whoever designed the return and return is spelled wrongly must go for a spelling bee competition. We also have another comment here. It says, Ashaisef, no one in the president's entourage saw this, or it is a patois word. Another comment here says, from return to return, and this time return is spelled wrongly, a mistake or just a ploy of nation wreckers doing their negative bit on behalf of our enemies to undermine the black man's capability of managing his own affairs. So a lot of comments, social media, Twitter, people are talking about this.
Okay, let's quickly bring in Dr. Raphael Odum. He's a lecturer in the Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship at the University of Ghana Business School. Joins us on the line right now. Doc, so the concerns of these folks on social media, are they justified? Is it much ado about nothing?
I think they are very right justified. It's because if you take Ghana as a nation and a brand, whatever a corporate entity would have done to a brand by ensuring that, the spellings and the names are correct and everything is supposed to be done. You can't omit some letters. In branding, for instance, by changing just a letter, it changes the meaning of everything. So I think due diligence should have been observed while they were doing all these things. And once there are editorial boards that see to these things, they couldn't have made such a mistake. It's quite unfortunate that this happened, but it also tells us that many of our outfits out there do not observe the necessary due diligence when deploying such campaigns out there.
So what should they have done when they realized that? And I'm assuming that they did, that the SARS had this problem. They shouldn't have used it at all on the PM of Jamaica.
I think, like I said, there are background checks and balances that goes on for these things to come out into the public domain. And so before they came out, then careful attention should have been paid. Now that it has come out, what could be done is probably to have a very good PR system to come and explain to the general public the nitty-gritties behind whatever exactly happened. But if they haven't managed to do that, then the public is going to carry out in their own way the various interpretations they will give to it. And mind you, this is coming in the wake of a recent happening, which is also in a situation where people also found out that certain slogan or logo has been, plagiarized and other things. So these things go on, and I feel it's about time Ghanaians pay very much attention to this, especially those committees that are set to come up with these, output on behalf of government. We've seen it on football logos and other things, and this is a very serious situation and shouldn't be downplayed.
I'm grateful that you joined us. That's a doctor in marketing at the University of Ghana Business School, helping us appreciate that. Meanwhile, we've tried to reach out to the authorities responsible for this.
We understand this is the Ghana Tourism Authority, so we reached out to the CEO. They wouldn't speak on it. He's actually not available.
Okay, I'm grateful that you for that quick update on this. Still listening to News 9 here on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, that sound tells you something. They've been failed to qualify for the National Science and Maths Quiz for 2 consecutive years. But the one-time champion St. Augustine's College says it's time to make up for all the lost opportunities in the past in what many have described as the most outstanding performance by a school at this year's competition. The boys from the Central Region became the first school to obtain a perfect score in round 3 of the competition so far, winning the NSMQ Star Award. They ramped past Bogatanga SHS and Wali Wali SHS to book a place at the 1/8 stage of the competition. Nancy MFA Dradosi caught up with some students who were over the moon after the team show.
What you hear at the background are students from the St. Augustine's College. It's been 2 years that they've been absent in this competition, and today they are finally here. They have made it. They have qualified to the next round, and they won very convincingly. I see that they cannot contain their joy. It's an amazing feeling. Come closer to me.
Oh, I'm out of words. We've made it, and we just pray that God will take us through to the finals, and we know we can do it.
But I see that they have a lot of their old boys around, so I want to feel your vim. Can you give me some boza? Give me some
Boza. Charlie, this year, 2019, Augusto, St. Augustine's College. We are murdering everybody on the way. We are winning. We are taking the cup home to Central Region, and we are winning.
We are the first school to win the NSMQ Star Award. Please put it on record, my Joy News.
Let's do your anthem one more time. It can all come around.
No gases, Yanadam Fopa, Ahotonye, Monica Neba, Sayanaso,
Well, listen, in the land of the blind.
After 2 years in the wilderness,
they've not been there. I mean, they just showed up and they're happy that they St. Augustine's Anyway, so listen to the Stand on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's do some flip side now.
Maybe we stay in the classroom a while longer. Comedians Ruben and Langaville and Prophet Kumchacha have been answering some English questions. Host of Weekend City Show, Sami Fossen, put a 3 to the test on Saturday.
The difference between past and present continuous.
The past and present continue. Continuous or continue life? Continue life. You want to continue life or want to pass?
So continue.
Yeah, we are. So continue. We are continue.
What do you understand by articulate?
Articulate means that somebody who make everybody be happy for his life. That's articulate.
Hey, Massa. Charlie, Ruby, you did well. A fantastic guy.
Give me a high five.
It's not article.
Yeah.
Okunchata, the thing they talk, you don't understand.
Okay, but you know the difference between president and prime minister?
Some of them were.
Charlie, don't enter
the difference between president and prime minister.
No difference. The president and prime minister is one sentence. It's the same one. No. No. Why? The UK is prime minister Theresa May. It not be true.
outgoing Prime Minister.
Yeah, okay.
Theresa May, is she gone already?
Please.
Theresa. She's not gone already. Anyway, that's it for News Night tonight. My name is Evan Spencer.
I am MFA Paul, the Geek Squad. Up next Tuesday.